Welcome to the Hamsey Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Paulo Navarro. Today is Tuesday, March 13, 2012. Today's economic data came in better than expected. Retail sales came at 1.1%. We're expecting 1%. Business inventories came at 0.7%, and we're expecting 0.6%. FOMC left the rates unchanged, and that was what we were expecting. For the markets, the S&P 500 futures saw a high of the day of 1391.25 and a low of the day of 1366. We closed at 1390.75. Today's volume was 2.7 million contracts, way above the 20-day moving average. For the Nasdaq futures, the high of the day was 2696.5 and a low of the day was 2645.25. We closed at 2694. The volume was 350,000 contracts, again a lot higher than the 20-day moving average. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Decline Differential closed at 1,460. The Nasdaq Advanced Decline Differential closed at 1,201. There were 72 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and non-52-week lows for the S&P 500. As for the volatility, the VIX spot closed at 14.8. The total contracts traded today was around 450,000 contracts. The total premiums paid today was around 470,000. As for March, the dollar-weighted put-call ratio was 3.73, which is bullish, and it had 31% of the total premiums paid. For April, it was 0.82, and it had 47% of the total premiums paid, which is a neutral reading. Okay, here we have the daily chart for the ES. So you can see we had a great day today. We're up almost 24 handles. So you can see here on the lowest indicator, the yellow line, which is the sigma channel width, it's starting to go up, which means the sigma channels are expanding, which is good. There is also, as you can see here, we touched the 3 sigma. This has not happened since July of last year. Let me show you here. This was around here when it last happened. After that, as you can see, we continue to go a little bit higher before a sell-off and the downgrade of the US, but as you can see, we can continue to go higher from this point. And as the sigma channel width is increasing, it will probably expand to the upside, since that's the way we're going right now. For the weekly, we continue to be on the +1, +2 sigma channel, so that's good. And here, let's get a 30-minute chart to see the intraday action for today. Here we have the open around here. We tried to make lows, but it was not possible. And after that, we came back up. We were up about 10 handles before some news came out that JP Morgan and a couple of the big banks were buying back shares and increasing their dividends. Also, the FOMC rate stayed the same as was expected. So that was the intraday ending, which was a very good ending at the end. We were up like 10 handles in the last an hour and a half, which is great. As you can see, the Fibonacci we had drawn here, we took back all of the losses we had since last Tuesday. We broke it overnight, as you can see here, and then we tried to test it a couple of times. We couldn't close any of those times below it, and then we just came back up very fast and closed at the highs almost 20 handles above those levels. Okay, here we have the weekly chart for gold futures. You can see we're sitting right now at the 50-day moving average. This is for the weekly chart. Also, we have another big bar to the downside this week. It's not gonna be an outside bar because of the high was not high enough, but another important level to watch as we probably gonna drip lower to the 1600 level. On the daily chart for gold, we broke the 200-day moving average again. We need to see if this time we will continue to go lower to the 1600 that we've been talking about for a week or so. So we'll continue to watch gold and what happens. As you can see on the intraday chart, this was a 30-minute chart. We started selling off after the Fed didn't hint anything about QE, as we already knew. Bernanke talked about last week when we sold off big. So again, a bad day for gold. more than a 1.5% down. Okay, here we have a weekly chart for the VIX. So you could see the VIX has been dropping down since October really fast. This is the 5th consecutive down week we've had, and we have not seen the VIX around this level since July of 2008, so which is very impressive. The VIX was down almost 5.5% today after being sold off yesterday, so the VIX is not doing very well right now. As for the daily chart on the VIX, you can see here not a pretty picture as well, but we'll have to see what happens with the VIX.